Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, again, in the beginning, we have a short review of what our last video was. And I'll reference the last video up here in the corner, so if you'd like to go back and refresh your memory or see it for the first time, you'll have a place to go. But the name of it was, It's True. It's true. Everything is energy. Now, we believe that, well, maybe it isn't energy. Maybe it's real things, real objects, real physical things. So we put together a model. And the model was a wedding reception to talk about energy and events. And events. All events are energy. Now we think, well, no, they're real things. They're absolute real things. No, the event is energy. Now, in a wedding reception, you have some things like tables and chairs and a banquet and the head table and flowers and a wedding cake. You have things, but that's not the event. Without the energy of the event, without the energy around the event, all you have is tables and chairs. No event. So events are energy. They build, they reach a climax, and then they subside, and the event is gone. It does not move into the past. The event, your memory of the event, is all that is left. The event is gone. It's gone and never coming back. Never. So events last in the present moment, and then they're gone. Everything is energy. And that's what we talked about last video. And now we're going to change this and talk about our subject for this video. And this is our subject for today. So let me read it, and just in case I wrote something wrong on it, because sometimes I do when I'm writing on the board. Lies. All lies. This world is not about you. So we have already started a little diagram and using several of the elements of many of our models. We have outside energy, we have input, we have processing, and from here over, it's all you. So, now, what do we have here? Lies, all lies. Your whole world is a lie. What you believe is your world is made up. Now, how do we do that? Now, we've looked at a lot of this stuff, so now we're going to kind of distill it down a little bit. And remembering that everything is energy. So, before we get started, the tea today is a tea. It's yellow. It's made with ginger. It's a ginger tea with honey and citrus. I've never had it before. You get it out of a jar. You take 2 tablespoons of this, looks like jelly, and you put it in the hot water, and you stir it up, and you got ginger tea and honey. And it's quite refreshing. So, and it's got little pieces of ginger in it, and sometimes they get stuck. So what are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about energy again. We're going to talk about what's outside of you. And here you are. Look at this. See this? This is a side view, kinda, of you. And you got eyes and ears and nose and tongue for taste and fingers for feeling. So you got the 5 senses coming in. All that information is coming into your processing. And you're processing it inside. Now, what is it? It's data. You think it's things. You think it's physical things that are out here. No. All that's out here is energy. It is the all. It is infinite. It is information. Now, it's also inside of you because you are part of the all. But now we're looking at it as a model. And here you are taking in the information or the data, and now from the data, you are just determining what is important for you. Out of all this data, all of this isn't important for you. You have no reference to it. So you need to have data for which you have some experience, some background, some reference. And that's what this processing is. You process that unknown data through your subconscious mind. And again, what part of your subconscious mind? Your belief system. Your experiences, your values, your moral judgment, all of those kind of things you use to filter this information. And from that filtered information, you create your world. Very straightforward. Unless you're in the egoic world, then you believe there's things out here in the infinite energy system, physical things. No, there's no physical things here. And I have another video that I'll reference about the external physical world. Inside, you create, based on your information that you have purified through your belief system, you create your world. Now, here's what I want you to get. I know it's a little difficult from my drawing, but I want you to see this as surrounding you, like one of those big screens, Mac screens, that go all around you, and you have surround sound, and you have surround smell, and you have surround taste. It's all around you. You're creating it here, but it's all around you. Every plane that flies to the sky that you see, you create in here. Every grasshopper that crashes on the ground, moves on the ground, you create it in here and put it on this screen. This is your world. Now, I know you're saying, well, no, the world's out here. No, this is a projection of what you've already created, in here. You're in an illusion when you believe it's out here. Now, what kind of an illusion? What do we call that? I have it written down here because I've done a little bit of research on it. And basically, when you believe there's real things out here, it's called naive realism. Naive realism. Now, you can go on the internet and you'll find very substantial information from very expert people that talk about naive realism. Because your eye does not see anything. Doesn't see anything. That's not the function of the eye. The eye takes in information. That's all it does. It doesn't analyze. It doesn't select. It doesn't pick. It just passes information. Now, who does the picking? Who does the selection? Who determines what this information means to you? Your subconscious mind. What you know to be true for you, your belief system. That's it. That's where it is. And so you process that. You don't process this. You process the data from this that gets inside, that passes your filter system, and from that information, you create your world. And your world is all around you. That's why I put it here, like on the back of the head. It's like the back of the head is a picture screen. And it's like you're sitting here looking at this outside world that's inside your creation. And then you project it outside, and it will, we haven't talked about that, but your inside projection that you put outside will match the outside energy system perfectly. And you will then develop a loop system around this, and you will absolutely, on a conscious level, believe this is the outside world. But it's an inside creation that you are looking at inside of you. So, what you think is outside here, it's a lie. It's all a lie. It is naive. Naive. What's that mean? Innocent. You're doing it innocently. Naive to believe that there's things out here. They're all created inside of you. And there are certain, between us, there are certain agreements that we have made of color, of sound. Oh, by the way, there's no color out here. There's no sound. There's no taste. There's nothing to touch. All of that is interpreted inside by the mind. Oh, aren't we having fun? Now, not so much fun for some because they believe, well, no, I'm a realist. This is really stuff out here. If you only knew what was out here, it's magnificent. But you believe it's this. So let me go, so we're talking about naive realism. And I'm going to make some references here in a moment. But let us, because this is, I said, an illusion. So what's an illusion? It's a dream. It's a dream state. Here's what A Course in Miracles says. What is seen in dreams seems to be very real. Now I added this, so I'll say that again. What is seen in dreams seems to be very real to the dreamer. And you're the dreamer. You believe this is the outside world. It can be very helpful in survival, but when you get by that point and begin to recognize the reality, it's naive to believe your senses tell you anything about what's out here. And we had another video on that, and I'll try to reference it. So now, in my search, I ran across an interview by Deepak Chopra. And he's kind of one of my heroes, so I follow a lot of his stuff. So I'm going to read some of the things that he says to see if it makes sense, and it should, to you. Your perception, which means how you experience your world, are really magical lies because they hide the truth of reality. So your perception tells you, as you perceive, as you look out, your perception tells you the earth is flat. And for many, many thousands of years, we thought the earth was flat. We believed it, absolutely. So strongly did we believe it that if you didn't, you might be burned at the stake. Few believe that anymore. Well, I found out there are societies, flat world societies, that do believe the world is flat. And they have very good evidence for them that the world is flat. So not everybody believes the world is round. Your perception tells you that the ground you're standing on right now, or sitting on, is stationary, put, yet it's spinning. And it's hurtling through space, following our sun into its galactical orbit at thousands of miles per hour. And yet we believe, oh, this is stationary. It's not moving. And yet it is. So your senses aren't telling you too much. Your perception tells you that your body that is three-dimensional, and yet it exists, and that it exists in space and time. But it's actually proportionally as void as intergalactic space. Oh, isn't that interesting? But, so everything you see, hear, touch, smell, and taste cannot be believed. And yet, we're programmed to believe it. On top of that, you make assumptions, which are called thoughts. The thoughts extend to your magical eyes and all your senses. And you think you are experiencing things as they are, that are not really there. but you think they are. The point is, if you can see it, touch it, perceive it, think about it, imagine it, or experience it in any way, it's not real. So is the insight of Deepak Chopra. This is not a real world. And that's why this channel is called Living in the Illusion. You live, believe you are in a space that doesn't exist except in your mind's eye. Oh, we have much to think about here in the illusion. Be good to yourself. And we look forward to seeing you next time here in the illusion. Bye now.
Pepe sky, he olo e ana mai, ina leo na manu, ake kani o ke ia lullaby. Pepe sky, he na ike kai o kana loa. When you want to o I mai, to the place that's far across the sea, on the sandy